Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. This is Howie, and I'm here to help you win with money. Today is Saturday, August 21st, 2021. It is the end of trading week number 33, and in this episode, I'm briefly going to talk about markets and a little bit about my option trading and dividends for this week, and just summarize some of the other videos that I created in the past. Before I get started, don't forget, if you are on Facebook and if you want to learn how to level up your investment thinking, this is not a 101 group, this is more of a 102 group. Join me there. I do post different things and I talk about a little bit of everything. There's crypto here. I post about how I dollar cost average into Pfizer, and this is not about luck. I've been dollar cost averaging into Pfizer back here. So yes, this is a long time in coming, 18 years, but you can see it's nice when you pay $14 for a stock and then you collect the dividends while this thing is trending up. So that's how people make money in Coca-Colas of the world, or some of the most boring type of holdings. Yes, they're not sexy. These stocks are not going to run up or down in either direction. They're pretty boring, but you can make money just in the dividends. And I posted, here is a detail of the Pfizer one. You can see how I collected dividend and now it's going higher and higher, and there's no new cash in any of these. So this is just really a passive thing that I do. And before we head into the options transaction, let's talk about crypto. Crypto, it looks really good this week. And in fact, if you've been following this for the last month, you will notice how Bitcoin went from whatever it was, 28,000 all the way up. This went from 1,800 all the way up to 32. So things are starting to move up. The funniest thing is now you see a lot of people trying to buy into it. Why are you trying to buy in when it's 49,000? Why not buy it when it was 31 or 32 or 28 or even last year? The strategy in these things is you don't have to time the market. If you just dollar cost average in, and if you did it when you first heard about it, most of you would have made money. I still read people losing $5, $10, $15,000 in crypto, which means you're buying it at the peak. You're buying it at the wrong time, or you're going all in. If you just dollar cost average, it would have been so much easier. You would have made money. But anyway, that's up to you. You do what you want. Remember, this is just an educational video. You do what you want. We're not your financial advisors. So I logged into my ETRADE account, and I'm going to copy the transactions. And I always leave a little bit of gap because I want to resort it. So I'm going to paste that here. Those are all my transactions. And I'm going to get the next set. Okay, and then I just have to scroll down here. I want to copy everything here. And then I delete all those useless zeros or transactions that I don't track. And I paste that here. So now I want to delete everything and clean everything up. Here's what it looks like after I edit it. I added in my description and notes every week. I number each trade, and then I like to put how many days to expiration, so whenever I do something you can see it. Okay, so first thing I do is hit the save button. Then what we do is we go to the top here, we go to the pivot table. This is only August data. I'm going to hit the refresh button, and there you go. It brings in all the data for this week, week number 33. And that looks okay. I don't see any particular errors with my pivot. I normally go into this one here, and then I'm going to hit the pivot over here. And there you go. So now I added one more week to August, and you can see what's happening now. My third quarter number is now moving up. That was last week. This month should never change, so that's why it already equals. And then this week is changing, so you see it went up by about $950. And here's my total P&L now, running P&L for the year. So hit the save button there. So now I'm just going to copy this value, go back into my original pivot, paste that in here. And the only thing I need to adjust now is row number 33. And this is what it looks like when I'm done. I have 25 trades again. And what it's telling me is I hit a running P&L of 20,000. I'm averaging about $23 per trade. If at this pace, I'm going to finish out the year at 1,400 trades roughly. So that's what it's telling me. It's looking okay. So let's go into the details of some of the trades that I did this week. So here's what I did for PAYC this week. I added a cost credit spread, and I only collected $48 up front. I closed it for $11, so I made $36. I know it's not a lot because look how much I lost the previous week. I lost well over $1,200, and it wasn't even worth the trade. And you can see that I had a hard time with PAYC, and it just went way past what I expected. But that's life. Sometimes when you follow a security and if it moves past, it had a great earnings, and the stock moved $50, $60, and I have to be okay with that. The next one is FSLY. I've been playing it multiple ways. You see the cash to curve put. I think I moved it twice in 1 week. And if you just look at the cash to curve put here, made $40, $39, rolling the same thing, which is not bad because I'm only putting up 3,700, and I rolled it down to 3,600. So you can see that 3,600 has already made me, $40. On top of that, with the cover calls, they look like they're safe, so I just rolled them down for a little bit more premium. So what you can see is if you look at all the stuff that I did for FSLY in 1 week, it is $85. And then what you want to do is add in the previous week, and then you're up to $100. And then now we're talking about 3 weeks playing FSLY, and now we're up to $378. Because there was a day where I played FSLY, and I knew it wasn't going to go below, let's say, 35, and that's what I did. I played it, made money there, and then I moved it up to 40, and I made money again. So in a short amount of time, I did collect $378 in FSLY. And I'm not out of this trade. I'm still going to play it. Again, I like looking at my year-end data to see what it shows. Here's my trade for this week in TLRY. So TLRY it's hovering around $13, $14. So these are not going to be huge premiums. I collected $28 in TLRY, not a lot this week. You see that? I'm actually rolling it down on one, then I rolled it back up on another one. So I'm playing it different ways. Last week I didn't make a lot. You see that, another $30. But TLRY did announce a merger with MemMem, and I do think that TLRY just went for a merger, and they're still growing. I think cannabis is still a very high-risk sector, and a lot of us are waiting for whether or not in the U.S. it's legal, whether or not banking institutions will allow cannabis companies to use banks, which means even things like Visa and MasterCard, will you allow them to accept those at those dispensaries or medical marijuana places where you can buy it for medical use. So there's some interesting things happening in that space. I don't really know. I don't have a lot of money because you can see that I only have I played 2 contracts, so it shows you I have 200 shares of TLRY, and if TLRY is at $13, that's $2,600 is what I'm playing with TLRY. I do have a cash to curve put, I believe. Oh no, I don't have it on that. I think I'm just using, that's right, I added shares here. You see that roughly 17 days ago, I added 33 more shares so I can finish up the round lot so I can trade that. So let's talk about an Iron Condor SPY. I have 11 contracts on a September 17th. So I can show you what I did this week. So this is the most recent week. And you can see what I did. I rolled the untested side, which is the put side, up for more premium. It has 28 days left in this trade. Guess what? I did the same thing last week and I rolled it up. And it had 37 days in the trade. And the week before that is when I opened it. So I opened it for 1,400. And now what I need to do is this week I'm either going to roll the untested side again to narrow it down, collect a little bit more premium before I close it. Do I want to close this week or next week? I don't know yet. I just like to play it out. Sometimes if I feel like if it's not going to be tested and there's really no risk, I will play it a little bit more, a few more days. I don't want to use this. You always have to sell it at 50% gains or 21 days, but those are just rules. And to show you a better view, you can see all my various position of these SPY with different expiration dates and different number of contracts. And you see what I've been doing. I close it here. This one had 14 days. This one I'm rolling it, the untested side, even with 43 days, which means I must have opened it with nearly 50 or more days to expiration. So each one is a different move, but you can see what I'm doing. I'm always trying to collect premium so that when I close it, I have a higher chance of making a little bit more premium than what I started with. So with that being said, I want to bring this video to an end. I hope you enjoy some of the content that I make. I definitely show my trades. I don't always show it in real time, but if you're on my Facebook group, you will see that I post a transaction log. And those transaction log matches the details that I share in these videos. So when I share these videos, these are the exact transactions that I get from my broker. And then I just add a few columns in to make it so I can pivot it better. But these are the things that I do. I do the trade, post it up on Facebook. Then at the end of the week, I create a summary video, and it summarizes everything. Not a lot of traders will do that. They're not going to talk through the majority of the trades. They like to always show you their winners only. I show you what my portfolio looks like. I use a pivot table. There's nothing to hide. There are weeks where I'm embarrassed. I lose money. The market moves against me. And I even lost money when the market was hitting all-time highs. There was a week, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, where markets were up 8 weeks in a row, and my iron condors on SPYs, they made me lose money, and I didn't roll them enough. I didn't spot it early enough to see the problem, and I was on the wrong side of the trade, and I lost money that way. And I'm not sure if you saw my other trading video this week. I did one on trading expectancy, and what that is a simple thing of don't believe traders when they only show you the winners. What you have to do is trade enough, trade often enough or long enough to know what the pattern is. Most traders blow their accounts. A lot of option traders don't really make money. So they trade, and then they eventually get to zero. Then they create a new account and they refund it with new cash, and then they trade, and then sometimes they blow that account. So what that tells you is if people are blowing accounts, they're really not making money. I have shared that I have not blown any option trading account, and I have in the past. I have blown stock market accounts, and that's because I told you in my previous video, in my trading expectancy video, I was a beginner trader. I was learning how to trade. I obviously didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have good risk management. I didn't know how to protect your portfolio, and so those are the things that you learn. And what you hope to do is get better and better as a trader so that you can learn how to trade properly. Remember, the goal is not for you to imitate one style or one trading mechanism, but really the goal is for you to make profit with the style that sort of resonates with you. Every trader is slightly different. Some people love high risk, big reward trade. Some people like the boring trade. Some people like somewhere in between. And that's fine. You can make money in all these different ways. The key is to pick a style that you're really comfortable with, that you understand, that you can duplicate over 5, 10, 15, 20 years of trading and show a profit. And that's what I have learned in my years of trading. I moved on to options, and I was able to do a lot of trades in options, and I average well over 1,000 trades per year. And I have said it in all my other videos. Generally speaking, I do lose on a weekly, but I don't lose too often on a monthly. And I already said this year I lost in July, so I did lose money in July. But I think I'm going to finish out the year looking pretty good. Worst case scenario is I may have one more losing month, but I think I'm going to finish the year pretty good. I'm going to probably surpass even my performance from last year. My goal is to continue doing something like this every year to show that this is not luck or randomness, and that your trading expectancy is positive, which means in the end, I'm going to make money over long periods of trading, that I can trade in any environment, whether the markets are going up, or the markets are flat, or the markets are going down, I can still make money. And that's why you want to track everything and have a way to say, does your trading make you money over a long period of time? So with that being said, let me know how you've been doing. Let me know if you needed a little bit more help. Comment below. If you want me to do a certain video just for you, just let me know, and I'll create something for you. Maybe it'll help you out to become a better trader. With that being said, let's do this $1 at a time. Let's do this together. As always, have a profitable day. Bye-bye.